Everyone thinks flagship phones are slowing down. Small upgrades, same formula, nothing exciting. But what if the next Galaxy doesn't just upgrade specs? What if it quietly redraws the entire power hierarchy of Samsung's lineup? Because what's leaking right now about the Samsung Galaxy S27 Ultra isn't just bigger numbers, it's a shift in strategy. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Let's start with something that sounds boring: storage. Yeah, not exactly headline material until you realize this might be the upgrade that changes how the phone feels every single second you use it. Samsung is reportedly jumping to UFS 5, and this isn't a minor bump. We're talking nearly double the speed compared to what current flagships use. That means apps don't just open fast, they snap. Games don't load, they drop you straight in. Even simple things like switching between apps or exporting a video stop feeling like tasks and start feeling instant. But here where it gets interesting. This isn't really about speed, it's about AI. Because modern phones are no longer limited by raw power, they're limited by how fast they can move data. And features like real-time photo editing, object removal, on-device video processing, those live or die on storage speed. So if this upgrade lands, it's not just making the phone faster, it's removing the delay between you and what the phone can actually do. Now here's the twist. Not everyone gets it. Leaks suggest Samsung might lock this next-gen storage to only the Ultra and a new Pro model, which sounds small until you realize what that implies. For years, buying a base Galaxy still got you the same core performance as the Ultra. You were choosing size, camera, battery, but not power. That might be over. Because at the same time, Qualcomm is reportedly preparing two versions of its next flagship chip, the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 6, a standard version and a Pro version. Same foundation, but the Pro gets stronger graphics, more cache, faster memory support. Subtle on paper but very real in performance, and suddenly the pattern becomes clear. The regular Galaxy models may get the standard chip, while the Pro and Ultra get the best version. Which means for the first time in years, Samsung isn't just separating features, they're separating power. Pay more, get more performance, a strategy that feels very familiar and very intentional. And that brings us to the biggest shift no one's really talking about, the lineup itself, because Samsung is expected to introduce a new Pro model, and this changes everything. The Ultra, which used to be the do-it-all flagship, now starts to look more like a modern-day Note, with the S Pen, the full feature set, the no-compromise identity. Meanwhile, the Pro becomes what most people actually wanted all along: ultra-level performance and cameras without the extra bulk or stylus. It's cleaner, it's more logical, but it also creates a gap, a deliberate one. Now let's talk cameras, because this is where Samsung usually plays it safe, except this time it doesn't look like they are. The S27 Ultra is rumored to upgrade almost everything: new main sensor, new ultra-wide, even a refreshed front camera. But the real story isn't just new hardware, it's how that hardware behaves. Samsung is reportedly working on something called LOFIC, and instead of throwing jargon at you, here's what it actually means. Your photos finally stop choosing between light and shadow. Bright sky, dark subject, normally one of those gets sacrificed. With this, both are preserved. More detail, more balance, less compromise. It's basically HDR, but pushed to a level where it starts feeling closer to what your eyes actually see. And then there's the zoom. Samsung has already been improving low-light zoom year after year, but now they're going even further by widening the aperture again on the telephoto lens. More light hitting the sensor means clearer, sharper zoom shots, especially at night, where most phones fall apart. So instead of zoom being a gimmick, it starts becoming reliable. Now, battery. This is where expectations need a reality check. There's a lot of hype around new battery tech like silicon carbon, but not all leaks are equal, and this one doesn't look solid. What does look likely is a more practical upgrade, a slightly bigger battery. Something around the 5300 mAh range makes sense. Not flashy, not revolutionary, but combined with more efficient chips, it could quietly deliver longer, real-world usage. And honestly, that fits the theme of this entire phone. Because the S27 Ultra isn't trying to shock you with one crazy feature, it's doing something smarter. It's upgrading the invisible layers, the speed you feel, the processing you don't notice, the balance in photos you usually lose. And at the same time, Samsung is reshaping the lineup so that not every Galaxy feels the same anymore. More choice, but also more separation. And whether that's a good thing or not depends on how you look at it, because for some people it means finally getting a phone that fits perfectly, and for others it means realizing the best experience is now locked behind the highest tier. Either way, one thing is clear, this isn't just another upgrade cycle, it's a reset, and once this strategy fully rolls out, the way you choose your next phone might never be the same again.